Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today we're going to talk about 50 everyday English phrases that will help you sound more natural and fluent in daily life. These are sentences you can use immediately in conversations. You'll hear them in homes, workplaces, schools, and friendly chats. And by practicing them slowly with me, you'll be able to not only understand them, but also make them part of your own speaking. Let's begin gently. The first phrase is, "How's it going?" This is a simple, friendly way to ask someone how they are, instead of always saying, "How are you?" which can feel too formal. You can use "How's it going?" when you meet a friend or colleague. For example, imagine you see a classmate at the library. You smile and say, "Hey, how's it going?" The other person might answer, "It's going well, thanks." Try repeating with me, "How's it going?" Say it again softly and let it feel natural in your mouth. Another common phrase is, "I really appreciate it." This is what you say when you want to show gratitude in a sincere way. Instead of always saying thank you, sometimes you can say, "I really appreciate it." For example, if your neighbor helps you carry a heavy bag upstairs, you can smile and say, "I really appreciate it." This makes your gratitude sound warmer and more genuine. Let's practice together. I really appreciate it. Say it slowly, and then try it faster, as if you're speaking in real conversation. The third phrase is, "I'm not sure." This is very useful because we don't always know the answer to everything. Instead of staying silent or just saying, "I don't know," you can say, "I'm not sure." For example, someone might ask you, "What time does the train arrive?" You could say, "I'm not sure, but I can check." Notice how this phrase sounds polite, honest, and natural. Let's say it together. I'm not sure. Once again, I'm not sure. Here's another phrase you'll hear constantly. That sounds great. This is a positive way to respond when someone makes a suggestion. For example, if your friend says, "Let's meet at the new cafe after class," you can reply, "That sounds great." It shows enthusiasm and agreement in a natural way. Repeat with me, "That sounds great." Add a little smile in your voice when you say it, because tone matters in English too. Next, let's learn, "Sorry to bother you." This phrase is polite and very common when you want to ask for help or information. For example, in a store, you might approach a worker and say, "Sorry to bother you. Could you tell me where the bread is?" It makes your request sound more polite and respectful. Practice with me. "Sorry to bother you." Try saying it warmly, not too fast. "Sorry to bother you." Another daily phrase is, "I'll get back to you." This means you don't have an answer right now, but you'll give the answer later. For example, if a colleague asks, "Can you join the meeting tomorrow?" and you're not sure, you can say, "I'm not sure right now, but I'll get back to you." It makes you sound professional and reliable. Let's say it together slowly. "I'll get back to you." One more time. "I'll get back to you." One of the friendliest phrases is, "Long time no see." You use this when you meet someone you haven't seen in a while. For example, if you run into an old friend at the supermarket, you might say with a smile, "Hey, long time no see." It's casual, fun, and friendly. Repeat with me. Long time no see. Again, long time no see. The next phrase is, I didn't catch that. This is an essential phrase for learners of English because sometimes you won't hear or understand clearly. Instead of saying what, which can sound rude, you can politely say, I didn't catch that. For example, if someone says something too quickly, you can respond, Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Let's try it. I didn't catch that. Softly again. I didn't catch that. Another good one is, what do you think? This phrase is powerful because it shows interest in the other person's opinion. Instead of always speaking about your own ideas, you invite others to share. For example, I think this restaurant looks good. What do you think? Repeat with me. What do you think? This phrase makes conversations flow naturally. Let's continue with, I don't feel like it. This is casual and used when you don't want to do something. For example, if your friend says, Do you want to go out tonight? And you're tired, you can simply say, I don't feel like it. It's honest, short, and very common. Practice with me. I don't feel like it. Again, I don't feel like it. Here's another useful phrase. Let's call it a day. This means, let's stop working for now. You'll hear it in offices or study sessions. For example, after hours of group work, someone might say, We've done enough, let's call it a day. Repeat with me slowly. Let's call it a day. Once more. Let's call it a day. Another friendly phrase is, don't worry about it. This is a way to tell someone not to stress. For example, if a friend apologizes for being a little late, you can say, don't worry about it. It makes you sound relaxed and kind. Let's say it together. Don't worry about it. Again, but softer. Don't worry about it. Next, sounds good to me. This is another way to agree with someone's suggestion. For example, if a coworker say, let's meet at 2 p.m., you can respond, sounds good to me? It shows easy agreement and friendliness. Let's repeat, sounds good to me. Again, sounds good to me. Another everyday phrase is, I'll let you know. This is useful when you don't have a final answer yet, but you promise to update. For example, if a friend says, Are you free this weekend? You can say, I'm not sure. I'll let you know. Repeat with me. I'll let you know. Say it softly and naturally. Let's practice. I'm on my way. This phrase is essential when you're going to meet someone. If you're leaving home and heading to a restaurant, you can send a quick message. I'm on my way. It's short, clear, and friendly. Say it with me. I'm on my way. Again, I'm on my way. Another nice phrase is, that makes sense. This is how you show you understand what someone explained. For example, if your teacher explains a grammar rule, you can nod and say, that makes sense. Repeat with me. That makes sense. One more time. That makes sense. And let's add one more here. I can't wait. This phrase shows excitement. For example, if your friend says, We're going on holiday next week, you can reply, I can't wait. It shows positive energy and anticipation. Repeat softly with me, I can't wait. Once again, I can't wait. You're doing wonderfully so far. Keep repeating, Keep listening and let these phrases become part of your everyday English. Let's keep going with another phrase you will find incredibly useful. I see what you mean. This phrase shows understanding and empathy. For example, if your colleague says, "This project is taking longer than expected," you can respond with, "Yes, I see what you mean." It's a way to connect with the other person's feelings and perspective. Repeat it with me slowly. I see what you mean. And again, more naturally. I see what you mean. Another phrase that makes conversations flow is, let me think about it. Sometimes you don't want to answer immediately, and this phrase gives you space. For example, if a friend says, "Do you want to join us for a trip next month?" you can reply, let me think about it. This sounds polite, natural, and gives you time. Practice with me. Let me think about it. Once again, let me think about it. Next, let's add, it doesn't matter. This phrase is great for everyday situations where something isn't important. For example, if someone asks, "Do you want tea or coffee?" and you don't mind either, you can say, "It doesn't matter." Or if someone apologizes for a small mistake, you can respond, "It doesn't matter." Say it with me. It doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter. Here's another friendly one. Take your time. You can use this to tell someone they don't need to hurry. For example, if your friend is packing and feels stressed, you can calmly say, "Take your time." It's supportive and kind. Repeat with me. Take your time. Again, more gently. Take your time. Another useful phrase is, you never know. This is something we say when the future is uncertain and anything is possible. For example, if your friend says, "I'll probably never get that job," you can encourage them by saying, "Well, you never know." It keeps the door open for hope and possibility. Say it with me. You never know. Again, you never know. It's moved to, it's up to you. This phrase means the decision is in the other person's hands. For example, if you and a friend are choosing a restaurant, you can say, "I don't mind, it's up to you." It's polite, flexible, and very common. Practice with me. It's up to you. One more time. It's up to you. Another phrase you'll hear a lot is, "I guess so." This is a casual way to agree when you're not completely sure. For example, if someone says, "It might rain later," you can reply, "I guess so." It makes you sound natural and relaxed in conversation. Say it with me. I guess so. Again, I guess so. Here's one I really love. That's a good point. You can use this when someone shares an idea that you find smart or logical. For example, in a meeting, if a coworker says, "We should start earlier to finish on time," you can respond with, "That's a good point." This phrase shows respect for the other person's opinion. Repeat with me. That's a good point. Once again. That's a good point. Another very useful phrase is, "I'll do my best." This shows effort and positivity. For example, if your teacher says, "Please finish your homework by Friday," you can answer, "I'll do my best." It shows responsibility and a positive attitude. Let's say it together. I'll do my best. Again, I'll do my best. Next phrase, That reminds me. This is excellent for making connections in conversations. For example, if someone talks about cooking, you can say, "That reminds me, I need to buy groceries later." It helps link ideas smoothly. Repeat with me. That reminds me. Once more. That reminds me. Another phrase is, "Let's keep in touch." This is perfect for ending conversations when you want to maintain contact with someone. For example, after meeting someone at a conference, you can say, "It was nice meeting you. Let's keep in touch." Say it with me. Let's keep in touch. Again. Let's keep in touch. Now try, "That's interesting." You can use this when someone tells you something you didn't know. For example, if a friend says, "Did you know dolphins sleep with one eye open?" You can reply, "Wow, that's interesting." Practice with me. That's interesting. Once again, that's interesting. Here's another one. I'm just kidding. This phrase is used when you make a joke or say something playful and you don't want the other person to take it seriously. For example, if you say, "I ate 5 pizzas yesterday," and your friend looks shocked, you can laugh and say, "I'm just kidding." Say it with me. I'm just kidding. Again. I'm just kidding. Another phrase to practice is, "I'll figure it out." This means you don't know the solution yet, but you're confident you will. For example, if you're working on your computer and someone asks, "Do you know how to fix it?" you can say, "Not yet, but I'll figure it out." Repeat with me. I'll figure it out. Once again, I'll figure it out. Let's add, "Good for you." This is a supportive phrase to encourage someone or celebrate their success. For example, if your friend says, "I passed my driving test," you can reply warmly, "Good for you." It sounds friendly and kind. Say it with me. Good for you. Again, good for you. Another everyday phrase is, "You're welcome to join us." This is inviting and polite. For example, if you're going to lunch and you see a colleague nearby, you can say, "Hey, you're welcome to join us." It's a generous way to include others. Repeat with me. You're welcome to join us. Once again, you are welcome to join us. Next, let's try, "I don't believe it." This is an expression of surprise, often positive. For example, if your brother says, "I won the competition," you can react with, "I don't believe it." Practice with me. I don't believe it. Again, more naturally. I don't believe it. Another warm phrase is, "Help yourself." This is what you say when you want someone to feel free to take something, like food or drinks. For example, at a party, you might say, "Please help yourself to some snacks." Say it with me. Help yourself. Once again, help yourself. And one more for this section. I couldn't agree more. This is how you show very strong agreement. For example, if your friend says, "Learning English every day really makes a difference," you can reply, "I couldn't agree more." It's natural and powerful. Repeat with me. I couldn't agree more. One more time. I couldn't agree more. You're practicing really well. These sentences are the kind of tools that make you sound confident, fluent, and natural in English. Keep going, keep repeating, and let them become part of your daily speech. Let's continue with another powerful phrase. I'll be right back. You'll hear this in daily life all the time. For example, if you're in a cafe with a friend and you need to step outside for a moment, you can say, "I'll be right back." It's short, polite, and clear. Let's practice together. I'll be right back. Again, I'll be right back. Another useful one is, "It's not worth it." This is something you can say when an action doesn't bring enough benefit. For example, if someone says, "Let's drive 3 hours just to buy ice cream," you can reply, "It's not worth it." It makes you sound wise and practical. Say it with me, "It's not worth it." Again, "It's not worth it." The next phrase is, "Keep it up." This is an encouraging phrase you can use when someone is doing something well. For example, if your friend is exercising every day, you can say, "You're doing great, keep it up." It's positive and motivating. Repeat with me, "Keep it up." Once again, "Keep it up." Now, let's practice, "I'm just looking, thanks." This phrase is very useful in stores. When a shop assistant asks if you need help, you can politely respond with, "I'm just looking, thanks." It's short and polite, and it helps you in real shopping situations. Repeat with me, "I'm just looking, thanks." Again, "I'm just looking, thanks." Here's another important one. That's enough. This is something you say when you want to stop something. For example, if children are making too much noise, you can say calmly, "That's enough." It's simple and firm. Practice with me. That's enough. Once again, that's enough. Another common phrase is, "I can't make it." This is how you politely say you cannot attend an event. For example, if a friend invites you to a party and you are busy, you can say, "I'm sorry, I can't make it this time." It's polite and very natural. Say it with me, "I can't make it." Again, "I can't make it." The next phrase is, "Don't mention it." This is a polite response to "thank you." For example, if someone says, "Thanks for helping me," you can smile and reply, "Don't mention it. It's friendly and kind." Repeat with me, "Don't mention it." Once more, "Don't mention it." Here's another phrase you'll use often, "I'm used to it." And this means something feels normal to you because you have experienced it many times. For example, if someone says, "Doesn't it feel strange to wake up early every day?" you can reply, "Not really, I'm used to it." Say it with me, "I'm used to it." Again, "I'm used to it." Another helpful phrase is, "It slipped my mind." This is a very natural way to admit you forgot something. For example, if you forgot to call a friend, you can say, "I'm so sorry, it slipped my mind." It makes you sound honest and human. Let's practice. It slipped my mind. Again, it slipped my mind. Next phrase is, "That's true." This is a simple way to agree when someone makes a good point. For example, if your teacher says, "Learning takes patience," you can nod and say, "That's true." Repeat it with me, "That's true." Again, "That's true." Here's another one, "I'll think about it." This is polite and flexible when you're not ready to make a decision. For example, if someone says, "Would you like to join our team?" you can say, "Thanks, I'll think about it." Say it with me, "I'll think about it." Once again, "I'll think about it." Another phrase you should practice is, "It's on me." This is what you say when you want to pay for someone else. For example, if you're at a restaurant with a friend and you want to pay, you can say, "Don't worry, it's on me." It's generous and friendly. Repeat with me, "It's on me." Again, "It's on me." Let's try, "Don't get me wrong." This is useful when you want to make sure the other person understands your meaning correctly. For example, "Don't get me wrong, I love my job, but it can be stressful sometimes." Practice with me. Don't get me wrong. Again, don't get me wrong. Another daily phrase is, "no worries." This is casual and friendly, similar to, "don't worry about it." For example, if someone says, "Sorry for being late," you can reply, "No worries." It's very common in casual English. Repeat with me, "No worries." Once again, "No worries." Next phrase, "That's not bad." This is something you can say when something is quite good, even if it's not perfect. For example, if you try new food and you like it, you can say, "That's not bad." Let's say it together. "That's not bad." Again, "That's not bad." Here's one more. "Could be better." This is a polite way to say something is okay, but not perfect. For example, if someone asks, "How's your day?" you can reply, "Could be better." It's honest, but not too negative. Repeat with me, "Could be better." Again, "Could be better." Let's add, "It's a piece of cake." This means something is very easy. For example, if someone asks, "Was the exam difficult?" you can reply, "No, it was a piece of cake." Practice with me. "It's a piece of cake." Again, "It's a piece of cake." Another great phrase is, "That's the way it is." This is what we say to accept a situation even if it's not perfect. For example, if plans are canceled because of rain, you can shrug and say, "Well, that's the way it is." Repeat with me, "That's the way it is." Once more, "That's the way it is." And let's not forget, better late than never. This is what you say when someone finally does something, even if it took a long time. For example, if your friend arrives late to the party, you can laugh and say, "Better late than never." Let's say it together. Better late than never. Again, better late than never. You're doing amazing with these phrases. And if you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. It's the best way to keep learning with us every day, and it really supports this channel. Now, let's keep practicing together. The next phrase is, "I couldn't care less." This means you really don't care about something. For example, if someone says, "Did you hear about that celebrity gossip?" you can reply, "Honestly, I couldn't care less." Practice with me, "I couldn't care less." Again, "I couldn't care less." Another phrase is, "It's not my thing." This is how you say something is not your personal interest. For example, if someone asks, "Do you like horror movies?" you can say, "Not really, it's not my thing." Say it with me, "It's not my thing." Once again, "It's not my thing." Another very friendly phrase is, "You made my day." This is something you say when someone does something that makes you really happy. For example, if your friend surprises you with a gift, you can smile and say, "Wow, you made my day." Repeat it with me, "You made my day." Again, "You made my day." One more phrase for this section is, "That's not the end of the world." This is what you say when something goes wrong, but it's not a disaster. For example, if your friend says, "I lost my pen," you can reply, "Don't worry, it's not the end of the world." Practice with me. It's not the end of the world. Once again, it's not the end of the world. These phrases are like keys. Each one opens a door to more natural, fluent, confident English. Keep listening, keep repeating, and keep feeling the rhythm of these sentences as you practice them with me. Let's go on with another very common phrase. It's out of my hands. This is something you can say when a situation is no longer under your control. For example, if your team is waiting for approval from a manager, you can say, "I've done my part, now it's out of my hands." It shows that the decision is not yours anymore. Let's practice together. It's out of my hands. Once more, it's out of my hands. Here's a useful one. It's about time. This is what you say when something should have happened earlier but is finally happening. For example, if a bus arrives late, you might say, "It's about time." It can sound serious or playful depending on your tone. Repeat with me. It's about time. Again, it's about time. Another phrase to practice is, "It won't take long." You can use this when you want to reassure someone that something will be quick. For example, if you are helping a friend fix their phone, you can say, "Don't worry, it won't take long." Say it with me, "It won't take long." Again, "It won't take long." Next phrase, "I'm on the same page." This is very common in meetings or teamwork. It means you agree and understand the same thing as the other person. For example, we need to focus on the deadline, right? Yes, I'm on the same page. Let's try it together. I'm on the same page. Once again, I'm on the same page. Another one you'll find useful is, "That's more like it." This is a positive phrase you can use when something has improved or is finally the way you want it. For example, if the weather gets sunny after days of rain, you might say, "Ah, that's more like it." Repeat with me, "That's more like it." Again, "That's more like it." Here's another phrase, "Let's get started." This is a very common way to begin work, meetings, or even study sessions. For example, "We have a lot to do today, so let's get started." It's short, clear, and motivating. Say it with me. Let's get started. Again, let's get started. Another daily phrase is, "That's the last straw." This means you can't take something anymore. For example, if your neighbor keeps playing loud music and then does it again late at night, you might say, "That's the last straw." It expresses frustration. Practice with me. That's the last straw. Once again, that's the last straw. Let's add, "I can't thank you enough." This is a strong way of expressing gratitude. For example, if someone helps you in a big way, you can say, "I can't thank you enough for your kindness." Repeat with me, "I can't thank you enough." Again, "I can't thank you enough." Another useful phrase is, "It's not a big deal." You say this when something is not important. For example, if you spill a little water, you can say, "Don't worry, it's not a big deal." Let's practice. It's not a big deal. Again, it's not a big deal. Next, let's try, "You can't go wrong with it." This phrase means something is always a good choice. For example, if someone asks, "Should I order pizza?" you can say, "Sure, you can't go wrong with pizza." Say it with me. You can't go wrong with it. Again, you can't go wrong with it. Here's another one. I'll take care of it. This phrase shows responsibility. For example, if your coworker says, "Who will send the email?" you can respond, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." Repeat with me, "I'll take care of it." Again, "I'll take care of it." Another natural phrase is, "Let me know." This is very common when you want updates. For example, "Let me know if you need help with your homework." It's short and kind. Say it with me. Let me know. Once more. Let me know. Next phrase, that's the spirit. This is what you say to encourage someone's positive attitude. For example, if your friend says, "I'm going to try harder next time," you can reply warmly, "That's the spirit. Practice with me." That's the spirit. Again, that's the spirit. Another one is, "You've got to be kidding." This shows surprise or disbelief. For example, if your friend says, "Tickets are $500, you might reply, "You've got to be kidding." Say it with me. You've got to be kidding. Again, you've got to be kidding. Here's a phrase you'll hear often. That'll do. This means something is enough or sufficient. For example, if someone pours you water and asks if you want more, you can say, "No, that'll do." Repeat it with me. That'll do. Again, that'll do. Another phrase to add is, "You know what I mean." This is something you can use to check if the listener understands. For example, "Sometimes it's hard to wake up early, you know what I mean?" Practice with me. You know what I mean. Again, you know what I mean. Here's one more. It's worth a try. This is enku, raging when something is uncertain but possible. For example, if your friend is nervous about applying for a new job, you can say, "Go ahead, it's worth a try." Say it with me. It's worth a try. Again, it's worth a try. Another useful phrase is, "I'll give it a shot." This means you'll try something, even if you're not sure of the result. For example, if someone asks you to play a game you've never tried, you can say, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." Let's practice. I'll give it a shot. Again, I'll give it a shot. And one more phrase here. That's all I need. This means you don't need anything more. For example, if someone asks if you want extra sugar in your coffee, you can reply, "No thanks, that's all I need." Repeat with me, "That's all I need." Again, "That's all I need." You're building such a strong collection of natural daily English phrases. The more you practice them out loud, the more they'll become part of your automatic speech. Don't just listen once, repeat, shadow, and try using them in real-life conversations. That's how fluency grows, step by step. Let's move on with another phrase that you'll find very natural in everyday conversation. It happens. This is what you say when something goes wrong, but you want to make the other person feel better. For example, if your friend spills some coffee and feels embarrassed, you can smile and say, "Don't worry, it happens." Repeat with me, "It happens." Again, "It happens." Another useful phrase is, "I owe you one." This is something you say when someone helps you and you want to show that you'll return the favor. For example, if a friend gives you a ride home, you can say, "Thanks so much, I owe you one." Practice with me. I owe you one. Once more. I owe you one. Here's another phrase. I'll keep that in mind. This is what you say when you want to remember advice or a suggestion. For example, if someone says, "Take an umbrella, it might rain," you can reply, "Thanks, I'll keep that in mind." Say it with me. I'll keep that in mind. Again, I'll keep that in mind. Another very natural phrase is, "It's not worth worrying about." This is what you say when something is too small to stress over. For example, if you lose a cheap pen, you can shrug and say, "It's not worth worrying about." Repeat with me. It's not worth worrying about. Again, it's not worth worrying about. Next phrase is, "Let's call it even." You use this when you and someone else agree that you don't owe each other anything anymore. For example, if you buy your friend coffee today and they bought yours yesterday, you can say, "Let's call it even." Practice with me. Let's call it even. Once more. Let's call it even. Another helpful one is, "It's my treat." This is very similar to, "It's on me." For example, if you go to dinner with a friend and you want to pay, you can say, "Don't worry, it's my treat." It's generous and friendly. Say it with me. It's my treat. Again, it's my treat. Here's another great one. You're not alone. This is something you say to comfort someone who feels sad or stressed. For example, if a friend is struggling with studies, you can say, "Don't worry, you're not alone. We're all learning together." Repeat it with me. You're not alone. Again, you're not alone. Next phrase. It's no use. This means something is pointless or won't work. For example, if someone is trying to fix a broken phone that's completely dead, you can say, "It's no use, it won't turn on." Say it with me. It's no use. Again, it's no use. Another useful one is, "I can't get enough of it." This is what you say when you really enjoy something. For example, if you love a new TV show, you can say, "I can't get enough of it." Practice with me. I can't get enough of it. Again, I can't get enough of it. Here's another one. You've got nothing to lose. This is an encouraging phrase. For example, if your friend is scared to try something new, you can say, "Go for it, you've got nothing to lose." Say it with me. You've got nothing to lose. Again, you've got nothing to lose. Let's practice. That's the idea. This is a positive phrase when someone understands or suggests something correctly. For example, if your student says, "So we should practice a little every day?" you can smile and reply, "Yes, that's the idea." Repeat with me. That's the idea. Once more. That's the idea. Another everyday phrase is, "You've got it." This means someone is correct or that they've understood something well. For example, if your friend asks, "So we meet at 6, right?" you can reply, "Yes, you've got it." Say it with me. You've got it. Again, you've got it. Here's another good one. It's not the same. This is what you say when something is different or doesn't feel equal to before. For example, if you switch from fresh coffee to instant coffee, you might say, it's not the same." Practice with me. It's not the same. Again, it's not the same. Another common phrase is, let's get going. This means it's time to leave or start moving. For example, if you and your friends have been sitting for a while and it's time to go, you can say, okay, let's get going. Say it with me. Let's get going. Again. Let's get going. Next phrase, you're in good hands. This is something people say to comfort someone, showing they will be taken care of. For example, if you go to the doctor and the nurse says, don't worry, you're in good hands, it means you're safe and cared for. Repeat with me. You're in good hands. Once more, you're in good hands. Here's one more. It's a long story. This is what you say when you don't want to explain something complicated right away. For example, if someone asks, why are you late? And you don't want to explain everything, you can reply, it's a long story. Say it with me. It's a long story. Again, it's a long story. Another phrase you'll find very helpful is, that's all for now. This is what you say when you want to stop for the moment. For example, if you're writing an email and you want to end it, you might write, that's all for now, talk soon. Repeat with me, that's all for now. Again, that's all for now. Next phrase is, it's not the end of the world. This is very encouraging when something goes wrong, but it's not a disaster. For example, if your friend fails a small test, you can say, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. Say it with me, it's not the end of the world. Again, it's not the end of the world. Another warm phrase is, that's what friends are for. You can say this when you help a friend and they thank you. For example, if you carry their heavy bag and they say, thanks so much, you can smile and say, of course, that's what friends are for. Repeat with me, that's what friends are for. Again, that's what friends are for. And one more for this section. You made it. This is what you say happily when someone arrives at a place or completes something difficult. For example, if your friend finally arrives after a long journey, you can cheer and say, you made it. Say it with me, you made it. Once again, you made it. You're doing so well. Each phrase you learn is like a new tool in your English toolbox. And when you keep practicing them slowly and clearly, they become part of your everyday voice. Just imagine yourself using these naturally when you meet people, when you talk with friends, when you study or travel. That's how fluency grows. Let's keep going with another very common phrase. It's worth it. This is what you say when something takes effort, but the result is good. For example, if your friend says, climbing that hill was hard, you can reply, yes, but the view was amazing. It's worth it. Repeat with me. It's worth it. Again, it's worth it. Another natural phrase is, don't take it personally. This is what you say when you don't want someone to feel hurt by criticism. For example, if a teacher gives feedback on your essay, they might say, don't take it personally. I just want to help you improve. Say it with me. Don't take it personally. Again, don't take it personally. Here's another good one. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. This is a phrase for dealing with problems later, not now. For example, if someone asks, what if the car breaks down? You can calmly reply, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Practice with me. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Once again, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Another phrase to practice is, The sooner the better. This means it's best to do something quickly. For example, if your friend says, "When should I start studying?" you can answer, "The sooner the better." Say it with me. The sooner the better. Again, the sooner the better. Next phrase, you can say that again. This is something you say to show strong agreement. For example, if your coworker says, "This weather is terrible," you can reply, "You can say that again." Repeat with me, "You can say that again." Once more, "You can say that again." Here's another natural one. "I'll be there for you." This is a supportive phrase you say to someone you care about. For example, if a friend is nervous before an exam, you can reassure them by saying, "Don't worry, I'll be there for you." Say it with me. I'll be there for you. Again, I'll be there for you. Another phrase is, "Don't be so hard on yourself." This is comforting advice when someone feels guilty or disappointed. For example, if your friend says, "I failed my test, I'm useless," you can say, "Don't be so hard on yourself, you'll do better next time." Repeat with me, "Don't be so hard on yourself." Again, "Don't be so hard on yourself." Next one. It's up in the air. This is something you say when a plan is not final yet. For example, "Are we going on holiday?" "I don't know. It's still up in the air." Practice with me. It's up in the air. Once again, it's up in the air. Another useful phrase is, "You can count on me." This means someone can trust you. For example, if a friend says, "Can you help me move tomorrow?" you can answer, "Of course you can count on me." Say it with me. You can count on me. Again, you can count on me. Here's another warm phrase. I wouldn't miss it for the world. This is what you say when you really want to attend something special. For example, if your friend invites you to their wedding, you can reply, "Of course I'll be there. I wouldn't miss it for the world." Repeat with me. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Again, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Let's add, I'm feeling under the weather. This is a gentle way to say you're not feeling well. For example, if someone asks why you look tired, you can say, "I'm feeling a bit under the weather today." Say it with me. I'm feeling under the weather. Again, I'm feeling under the weather. Another very natural phrase is, I'll keep you posted. This is what you say when you promise to give updates about something. For example, I don't know the schedule yet, but I'll keep you posted. Repeat with me. I'll keep you posted. Once more. I'll keep you posted. Next phrase, you've got this. This is short encouragement when someone is about to do something challenging. For example, before an exam, you can tell your friend, "Don't worry, you've got this." Say it with me. You've got this. Again, you've got this. Here's another good one. It's not my fault. This is what you say when you want to explain that you're not responsible. For example, if the train is late and you arrive late to work, you can say, "Sorry, it's not my fault. The train was delayed." Practice with me. It's not my fault. Again, it's not my fault. Another useful phrase is, it's no big deal. This is casual and comforting. For example, if your friend says, "Sorry for forgetting your pen," you can smile and say, "It's no big deal." Repeat with me. It's no big deal. Again, it's no big deal. Let's add, it's up to me. This is when you want to say, the decision belongs to you. For example, I can choose to go or not, it's up to me. Say it with me. It's up to me. Again, it's up to me. Another phrase is, don't push your luck. This is a friendly warning when someone is asking for too much. For example, if your friend borrows your book and then asks for your laptop too, you can laugh and say, "Hey, don't push your luck. Practice with me. Don't push your luck." Again, don't push your luck. Here's one more. I couldn't care less about it. This is a very strong way of saying you don't care at all. For example, are you watching the game? No, I couldn't care less about it. Say it with me. I couldn't care less about it. Again, I couldn't care less about it. And the final phrase to close our big list is, let's wrap it up. This is what you say at the end of a meeting or session when it's time to finish. For example, we've done enough for today. Let's wrap it up. Repeat with me. Let's wrap it up. Again, let's wrap it up. And with that, we've wrapped up our lesson together. You've just practiced 50 great English phrases that people use every single day. If you review them, repeat them, and try them in your real conversations, you'll notice your English becoming more natural and more fluent. Remember, these phrases are like small building blocks. Each one makes your speaking stronger and smoother. I want to thank you for spending this time learning with me. You've done an amazing job following along, repeating and practicing. Stay patient with yourself because fluency grows step by step. Every phrase you master today will carry you closer to your goal tomorrow. You are building confidence, sentence by sentence, and I'm proud of you for it. So keep practicing, keep repeating, and keep believing in your ability to speak English naturally. I'll always be here to guide you, step by step, phrase by phrase, until you feel confident in every situation. Thank you so much for joining me in today's lesson. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. I can't wait to see you again in the next practice session. Until then, keep speaking, keep smiling, and keep shining with your English.